Hello, everyone. This is the initial episode of Out of Nowhere, in which I will discuss the strange roads that some professional athletes have traveled in becoming successful in their sport. The first player is the guy that I call the man of courage, kicker Tom Dempsey. Born without toes on his right foot or fingers on his right hand, future NFL kicker Tom Dempsey did not let it deter his athletic dreams. In high school, he wrestled and threw the shot. He was a Pro Bowl kicker as a rookie for the Saints in 1969, but it was the next year that his star shined the brightest. On November 8th, 1970, against the Lions, he set an NFL record with a 63-yard field goal. The kick beat the prior record by 7 yards. This is the shoe he wore. It was custom made for $200, and when reporters asked him if he thought it was unfair kicking with the shoe, he replied, "How about you try kicking a 63-yard field goal to win it with 2 seconds left, and you're wearing a square shoe? Oh, yeah, and no toes." Years later, ESPN Sports Science determined that his shoe offered him no advantage. In fact, with a smaller contact area, it actually increased the margin for error. In 1971, he was cut by the Saints during preseason when he missed 7 of 8 field goal attempts. He attributed the missed kicks to falling out of shape while being treated to countless drinks and meals after his historic kick. At times, his weight approached 300 pounds during the playing season. He was claimed by the Eagles. The Saints replaced Dempsey with this feller, Happy Feller. Given name was James. In 1972, Dempsey kicked 6 field goals in one game, and during the 1974 season, he was credited with 6 unassisted tackles on kickoffs, and he knocked out Leon McQuay during one of those tackles. That is utterly amazing. He was quoted as saying, "Kickers are weird. I'm a football player that kicks." We would think of nothing less from this man of courage. Kicker Garry Garrow worked on a London, England warehouse while playing soccer on the side. An older brother attended an Indiana University football game and watched the kickers kick. He thought that Garrow could be a kicker too, so he successfully prompted Garrow to move to Indianapolis, Indiana, where he started practice kicking field goals. Garrow's brother also wrote letters to NFL teams informing them of Garrow's prowess. The Lions and the Falcons offered tryouts, and Garrow negotiated a superior offer with the Lions and ultimately signed a contract with them. On October 16th, 1966, he played in the first NFL game he had ever seen. He said, and I quote, "I didn't know a jock strap from a chin strap." Before the start of the first game, the Lions head coach told the team that they had lost the coin toss. Garrow immediately dropped to his knees and dug around in the ground in search of the coin. Unreal! As a rookie, he broke an NFL record by kicking 6 field goals in one game. After converting an extra point that led to the Lions' win, Garrow celebrated by jumping up and down. When future Hall of Fame defensive tackle Alex Karras asked, "What the hell are you celebrating?" Garrow replied, "I kick touchdown." He was drafted into Uncle Sam's Army, so he didn't play in the NFL during the 1968 and 1969 seasons. When he returned from his Army stint, Lions Hall of Fame head coach Joe Schmidt told him, "I think soccer-style kicking is a fad," and told him that his services were no longer needed. That year, 1970, Garrow signed a contract with the Dolphins, despite head coach / general manager Don Shula never even seeing him play. Garrow was a 2-time All-Pro, a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He led the league in field goal percentage 3 times, and is named to the Hall of Fame All-1970s team. That sounds like a Hall of Famer to me, but he's not. He made the winning kick on Christmas Day 1971, which is the longest game in NFL history. And of course, his blunder in Super Bowl VII remains a staple in NFL lore. Eugene Big Daddy Lipscomb had one of the most difficult backgrounds from which to overcome. His dad got sick and passed away when he was an infant, and his mom was stabbed 47 times while standing at a Detroit bus stop. She died on the street when he was 11 years old. By sixth grade, he was 6 foot 4 inches, 220 pounds. He dropped out of high school, joined the Marines, and played football for them from 1949 through 1953, where he had grown to be 6 foot 6, 284 pounds. A mountain of a man for that era. None other than future NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle, who was the Rams' public relations director, scouted Big Daddy while playing football at Camp Pendleton. Impressed with his potential, he signed him to a free agent contract with no college football experience. This was in 1953, and he played from the Rams through 1955, but the Rams waived him in the fall of 1956 due to his partying and gambling. The Colts picked him up for the $100 waiver fee, and his career took off. He helped the Colts win back-to-back NFL championships in 1958 and 1959. He was a three-time Pro Bowler and two-time All-Pro, but Baltimore traded him to Pittsburgh in 1961 due to his off-the-field issues, alcohol, drugs, women. Even though he kept in shape in the offseason by wrestling professionally 3 to 4 times per week. It also supplemented his $14,000 annual football salary. Tragically, at age 31, on May 10, 1963, he died of a heroin overdose. The assistant medical examiner determined that Big Daddy's heroin level was enough to have killed 5 males. Next up is pitcher Jerry Kuzman of the New York Mets, who has his number 36 retired. His high school in Appleton, Minnesota did not have a baseball team. He threw baseballs to his brother Orville in the family's hay barn and played American League ball. He played in Minnesota beer leagues and semi-pro teams instead. After high school, he attended the University of Minnesota at Morris, but they didn't have a baseball team either. In 1962, he was drafted into the U.S. Army and was able to play baseball with them. The father of the catcher who caught Jerry tipped off the Mets. He was a Mets usher, and they signed him for less than $2,000 on August 27, 1964. His first big league game came somewhat quickly on April 14, 1967. In 1968, he busted out and made the National League All-Star team. He struck out Carl Yastrzemski in the 10th inning to earn the save in the 1-0 game. He won 19 and lost 12 while supporting a stingy 2.08 ERA. He finished second in the National League Rookie of the Year award to some guy named Johnny Bench by a single vote. Talk about coming out of nowhere. He was an All-Star again in 1969, and of course the Miracle Mets won the World Series. In a 19-year career, he won 222 games, won 20 games in the season twice, and had a fine 3.36 ERA. Which player do you think came out of nowhere the farthest? Place your answer in the comments and click the like button. As always, thank you for watching.